Well, that sucked. Welcome back into Vinny and the Jets, guys. Please always, as I ask, like, share, and subscribe to my video. If you do watch my videos, I'm sure you do. You're back again. So where do we start with this other epic disaster of last night's Thursday night matchup on national television, where our New York Jets lose 45-30 to the Indianapolis Colts? Now, the thing that's so, just crazy to me is for the first 5 weeks of the season, we thought the issue with this team was the offense. Mike LaFleur, Zach Wilson, Robert Saleh. They can't move the ball. They can't get a first down. They can't score on their opening drive, what have you. Zach Wilson gets hurt. Okay, we got to go to Mike White. Hey, Mike, guess what? We're going to try something different. What's that, coach? You're going to start calling plays from up in the booth, so that way you could see the whole field, see what the defense is giving you, what kind of looks you're getting. Are they pressing? Are they playing man up? Are they playing more of a zone? Okay. Offense explodes for 405 fucking yards last week with Mike White at quarterback, who never played a game professionally in his life. Wow. We're all pumped up. This is what? In less than a week ago. It was Sunday. Halloween. We're all pumped up. All right. Let's go ahead to Indianapolis. Mike White, go under center. Okay, we're down 7-0. Send out the troops. Go down the field. Boom, 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 boom. Touchdown pass to the corner of the end zone to Elijah Moore. Hold on a second. Hurt his forearm. Can't get a full grip on the ball. Doesn't have the feeling in two of his fingers on his passing arm. Night's over. Game's over. Ball game. Because you know that they weren't going to recover from that. It's just the Jet way. And this is not a knock on Josh Johnson. For a kid, he's been in the league for 20 years, it feels like, but a guy that hasn't started a game in almost 4 or 5 years to go out there and finish the game going 27-41 with 3 touchdowns through the air, a pick in garbage time, which I don't acknowledge that. It only hurt those of us that bet the points at the end of the game, but that's another story. He held his own, and you could tell he was visibly frustrated on the sideline that he couldn't rally the troops in the end. But you know what? The guy played with his heart on his sleeve. He balled out. He had blood in his eyes. He really wanted to win that. And you know what? That's the sign of a leader right there. So hats off to Josh Johnson. A very, very valiant effort. I got nothing to say bad about the guy. He did what he could do. But you think he was going into it, expecting to play the majority of the game? When he said it in the press conference, it's tough when you're barely getting any reps in practice. He goes, that was the first time he threw to guys like Denzel Mims, Elijah Moore, Braxton Berrios, Jamison Crowder. So I can't hate on the guy. He did everything he could possibly do. It's just this fucking team is cursed. Just when you think we got an answer to deal with the Zach Wilson injury and this kid and Mike White, first play of the game, the cat's going to bother me now. The first drive of the game, and on a touchdown pass, he's got to get hurt. Now they're saying there is a probability that he could play this coming Sunday with Buffalo. If that's the case, I hope. I don't want to throw Zach Wilson out there to the Wolves for his first game back, because Buffalo is going to be out for blood. I mean, what is Josh Allen going to do to us? He's going to drop 70 on the fucking team? Because you know that their offense is 10 times better than Indianapolis. 10 times. But just a few numbers to go out. And another thing I got to say, too, between what I've seen between last week and this week, between Mike White and Josh Johnson last night, how awful does that trade look for Joe Flacco? I understand it was a 6th-round pick, but what a waste. You could have gotten an asset, a developmental player for the next 2-3 seasons, but what a waste to bring that stupid old man into the building. Honestly, another just whiff on the front office, specifically Joe Douglas. It was blatantly unnecessary. You said at the end of the preseason you had full faith in Mike White, and now I see it. But you hit the panic button and got that stupid old man in the building. And you know what? I hope to Christ I don't see him on the field this season. I don't care if the team is down 55, 65, nothing. I don't want to see him. That's how disgusting that move is. Fuck that dude. Seriously, fuck that dude. I'm sorry. As far as the game goes, our playmakers were very soft, very quiet. Michael Carter had a quiet night. 13 carries, 49 yards. He failed to score. Elijah Moore had his coming out game. 7 catches, 84 yards, 2 through the air. Keenan Cole balled out. I would love to see this kid back next year with the 5 catches, 66 yards. He didn't score, but he finds spots out in the open. He helps move the chains. I would love to bring this guy back, especially if Crowder isn't in your future plans. The real turning point of this game that really sucked is we were only down 1 score in the first quarter, and then Ty Johnson fumbled. And then right then and there, what does Wentz and company do? Boom, 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 down, and now it's 2 possessions. That fumble was a killer, an absolute killer. And I feel bad for the kid because he's been playing his heart out. But, what are you going to do? They have a half-ass offensive line, and they're still trying to figure out this West Coast offense that LaFleur is trying to implement. So, historically, offensively, the Jets have never had a great offense. They never have. But, again, this is not the story of this game of why they failed so miserably. Why they failed so miserably is the defense gave up, for the second time in 3 weeks, over 500 yards of total fucking offense. What the fuck? Robert Saleh's bread and butter as a defensive coordinator is controlling this defense. It's supposed to be high octane, big pass rush, hard-nosed press coverage on the outside, blitz happy. I didn't see none of that shit. I didn't see none of it. The amount of yards, the amount of space out in the open for these running backs to come through the holes was disgusting. Any Pop Warner running back could have ran through there and getting untouched. And some of these statistics that came out today are completely psychotic. Just look at the 2 backs that they ran up and down on the field at us. Jonathan Taylor had 19 carries for 172 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he averaged 9.1 a carry. Furthermore, 127 of those yards, of the 172, mind you, were completely untouched. That's a disgrace. Unbelievable. 127 on the ground, freehand, untouched. Unbelievable. You don't even see that at the high school level. My God. And where is our secondary? How foolish do they look now for not getting rid of Marcus May? This guy isn't in your future plans, and the motherfucker tears his ACL. Done for the year. Done for the Jets. He's not coming back. I don't even want him back with him, his DUIs, his attitude, his lack of effort. Get the heck out of here. Get the heck out of here now, and return all your Jets gear too. Don't even take it with you. That's how I feel about that dude. And as his counterpart there in Ashton Davis is not a professional football player. They hyped that kid up so much coming out in last year's draft that, this kid does wind sprints. He's on the track team. He had to bust his ass to get scholarship. I don't give a fuck. This guy's done absolutely nothing. If he's not hurt, he's licking his wounds. What is he doing? He was afraid to hit anybody last night. You're the safety. You're the last line of defense. You can't let them get by you. It's all on you at the end if they get past the linebacking core. Disgusting. He should be benched. He should have been benched last night, and I know that there's nobody else in the secondary. Does it matter? It doesn't matter. Take one of the corners and shift them over, because you couldn't do any worse than that disgraceful, disgusting performance from Ashton friggin' Davis, the worst starting safety in the National Football League. There, I said it. And I don't apologize for anything of what I said. He played awful last night. One of the worst performances I've seen in the last 20 years. And not just the Jets. I'm talking about the National Football League as a whole. As a whole. Don't get me started. And more news on injuries. Tyler Kroft. We just traded Daniel Brown to KC. Granted, he was the 4th string tight end. He didn't have a future here. But now you got Tyler Kroft, who's got a lung laceration. What's the probability of that? And he's going to be expected to miss multiple weeks. So we're left with Ryan Griffin, piece of shit, and then Trevon Wesco, unproven. This is another issue they need to tackle in going into next year's draft. And I wouldn't even consider free agent tight ends, because most tight ends that get to free agency, they're on their last legs. You're not going to find a good one, not even via trade. You got to draft one. You got to draft one high, maybe even as soon as 2nd round. I hate to say it for a tight end, but when was the last time we had a good tight end? Dustin Keller? Maybe? I don't even know. Back to the defense, though. The linebackers were slow. They were weak. I mean, they're getting pushed around like little kids. Even C.J. Mosley, who's supposed to be the leader of this defense, I mean, he was getting tossed around like a little kid. And now it comes out today, oh, well, his hamstring was sore. Well, if his hamstring was sore, why the hell did you have him out there in the first place? I'm going to go on record right now. I have nothing but love and respect for C.J. Mosley in the middle there in the linebacking core. But for God's sake, at $17.5 million, it's like Parcells used to say, you are what your record says you are. And right now our record says we're a 2-5 team, you know, or a 2-6 team, whatever the fuck they are right now. And for me to bring him back again next year at $17.5 million, knowing that there's probably not a good chance of playoffs next year either, as they're trying to, you know, bring in this new system they're trying to implement, trade him. And even if that means you have to eat a big chunk of his salary, so be it. You're not going to be competitive. Who cares? You know, who cares at this point? I would take a 4th-round pick and try to get one on the flyer and get a kid here who's considerably younger, faster, hasn't been injured, and more importantly, they're cheap. That's why the draft picks in this day and age are just so coveted. So, I mean, all in all, though, to summarize that defense, no pass rush whatsoever. JFM had a sack, but big fucking deal. Quinnen Williams, totally invisible. And I just feel like the way that the schematics are with the money of this team, all of our money, all of our juice is always pumped into the defensive line, the defensive line, the defensive line. We don't have a pass rush. This isn't the New York Sack Exchange. The sack numbers aren't there. Why not take all that money and build up your offensive line? Get weapons for your young quarterback. That's been the problem with this team for the last 20 fucking years. So, I mean, they got an extra few days to prepare for the Buffalo Bills. I expect an ugly game. But you know what? They can't come out and just get blasted the way they've been getting blasted. This didn't happen under Adam Gase. Adam Gase is just, you know, he was a pushover. Don't get me wrong, piece of shit. But, I mean, his defenses weren't giving up 500 yards of total offense multiple times in a season. It's the first week of November. We still got a ways to go. I mean, Greg Williams' defense, I hate to say, was more of an attack style than this garbage I've seen. And that's what it is right now. And I understand they got a lot of injuries. And I understand that they're hit at so many different positions. But you know what? It's the National Football League. It's the highest level of competition. You draft guys or you sign them because you believe in them. And if you don't believe in them, they don't belong on this roster. So, guys, enjoy the weekend. You know, I'm saying this in advance, but if you guys are, if any of you men and women out there are veterans, happy early Veterans Day in advance. Thank you for all your service. Thanks again for watching my videos, guys. As always, like, share, and subscribe. Talk to you guys next time.